Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the morning routine. Oh, that's delicious. I love a good cup of coffee in the morning, right? Can't beat that, baby. So, good morning. It is Monday morning, June the 12th, and you are at the morning routine where we get together every weekday morning to share some news, some stories, passage of wisdom, and a prayer to get our day started the right way. So glad you guys are here today, and had a great weekend this weekend. I hope you did as well. Got to go to a graduation party. I got to tell you guys, for all the dads and moms out there, I got to go yesterday to an event that I did for my boys, and I've been to a couple of these before, and it is an amazing event to when your child, now yeah, I went for guys because I'm a guy, but when your sons reach the age of 18, of getting a group of men together that have been around their lives and have spoken into their lives and made an impact in their lives together, have a meal together, and just share some time, some stories, some wisdom, some things like that with your child. And you could do it with the ladies too. I always go for the guys. It's hard to explain how amazing it is. It's just a great time of hearing stories and bits of wisdom and insight. And it's just a great event. And I got to do that yesterday, and I won't spend too much time on that, but it was awesome. I highly recommend it. If you've never done it for one of your kids, I highly recommend it. It gives your children, if they're not children when they're turning 18, your young adults, an opportunity to hear what other people have seen in their lives, and also to give them some wind beneath their wings, to do a little Bette Midler there, to send them out to the next phase of life. So it's just a great event. I highly recommend it, and it was awesome. So I got to do that, and got to spend some time with the family, which is great. Now today, guys, just so you know, morning routine peeps, today, later this morning, I hit the road for the week, for the next whatever. I hope and am planning on being with you every morning as scheduled. I will do everything in my power to be here. I just don't know where or when. I don't have a single hotel room booked. I don't know what. I'm the wind. I'm just blowing in the wind. I'm a rolling stone, as they say. So, but we're here today, and I plan on being here every morning this week. I guess you'll listen to tune in and find out, where the heck am I? Where is Waldo? I don't know. So, but anyway, some stories to talk about today. One interesting article on fastcompany.com. I love that website. They have a lot of interesting stuff. But they talked about what would people do with a basic income. This is it's kind of a idea that's floated around for a long time, that if everybody was given a basic income where they didn't have to worry about that, their bare needs, what would they do with their lives after that? And would that be a viable way of doing things? So anyways, these filmmakers, these two people, Dia and Conrad, they want to give 20 people $250 a week for 2 years. So that's $1,000 a month roughly for free for 2 years. Okay? And then they want to follow those recipients to see how the money affects their life choices and work habits. They want to make a documentary out of this for people living on the Universal Basic Income, or UBI. And they have, so far, it was open for putting in your application to be in the project. They received over 10,000 applications for people who want to participate in this program. And you don't have to quit your job to do it. They just want to be able to follow you around. So here are a list of the things in this article that when they got these applications, what people want to do. There's going to be a link to this article, guys, in the show links, like I always do every morning. So you can go to freedomconvo.com morning show, or there's usually a link at the bottom of Facebook and YouTube for you to go. But it's interesting reading. I highly recommend you go check this article out, because there's little snippets of individual people right under these categories. But categories are: start a business. Sounds cool, right? Focus on health. Get over an addiction, right? Pay off some bills or debt was another one. Take a deep breath. This person says, if I had $1,000 a month, I might stand in one place, quietly exhaling with my eyes shut for 15 or even 20 seconds before I resumed looking for a part-time job. Just a chance to take a breath, right? The $1,000 a month. Do something artistic. With $1,000 a month, I would venture out and do something that I really love. I would sing. I love it. Get an education, start a farm, make some fixes. I'd be able to afford home repairs I currently neglect. Buy a house was the last one on this list. So interesting what people would do with this money. Little snippets in here. Like I said, there'll be a link to this article in the show links for you to check out. So next story, which was very, there are some companies out there when it comes to marketing are terrible. They're just terrible. And then there's some companies out there that are absolutely brilliant. This is an article on brilliance. This is an article about Nike, of course. Brilliance, right? Nike is now making bandages to fight sports injury stigma in China. The Badge of Honor series aims to turn China's parents' anxiety over kids getting hurt into pride for their dedication to the sport. Listen to this. There's a big difference between making sure your kid is protected and pushing that protection so far that you actually prevent the child from playing hard and building their skills. In an effort to ease the concerns of overprotective parents in China, Nike and agency Wieden and Kennedy Shanghai created a series of bandages aimed at taking the focus of potential injury and on the kid's dedication and commitment. The Badge of Honor series is four different sets of 14 bandages that are designed for basketball, running, soccer, skateboarding, and packaged in specially designed sleeves and unfold into comic strips. The comics tell stories about young athletes who played hard, fell down, and then had the courage to get back up. Isn't that a great idea? And isn't it a great idea for a way to get Nike to get their little swoosh symbol on every knee and elbow of every Chinese young kid, right? I mean, it's talk about branding brilliance. I mean, this is amazing. These guys are so stinking smart. So fascinating article. They actually have a little video in the article showing the Band-Aids, which is kind of cool too. Once again, that'll be linked to the show. So last story before we move on to our normal routine here is Airbnb. Airbnb, they are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. They're fantastic. I mean, what they do. So now they have made a commitment. The owners of Airbnb have made a commitment to fighting the homelessness of refugees. The founders of Airbnb announced a bold plan to provide short-term housing over the next 5 years for 100,000 people in need. Now listen to this, how this works, guys. You guys might be interested in this, okay? Because you can participate in this program, all right? Depending on where you live, of course. To help people around the world facing displacement, we'll work with our community of hosts to find not just a place to stay, but also a place to feel connected, respected, and part of community again. So they have launched this. It's called the Open Homes Platform. I'll have a link in the show notes, okay? Airbnb will automatically be able to connect organizations like International Rescue Committee, Singa Quebec, Inland Refugee Society, Solidarity Now with available rooms, which is awesome. Open Homes connects organizations seeking short-term stays and volunteers, that's you and I, offering up their homes for a specific cause. When volunteers sign in, they'll be able to specify the cause they'd like to donate their room or home to. Isn't that a great idea? I mean, here's their Airbnb, the easiest place to go and book a room, and now refugees can use this, and agencies that are helping refugees can use this to find rooms that you and I are willing to donate to the cause. Fantastic. I love it. I love these things because I honestly believe that companies like this who do this can make more of an impact in creating a government agency that is mudded down, by paperwork and policy, and nobody wants to make a decision and all these things. This is awesome. So very fantastic. I thought it was very exciting. So there you go. If you'd like to volunteer with that and donate a home, depending on where you live, you might be able to do it. So. But excellent. Irene, I see you're on this morning. Good morning this morning. This is real big out in the UK, just so you know. So it's one of the places because there's a lot of refugees coming into that area. But anyways, all right, guys. Well, let's go and see what's trending on Google here. Top 10. Google Trends as yesterday. The most searched things on Google as of yesterday. Number 1, Stanley Cup. The Penguins win the Stanley Cup. There you go. Number 2, the Tony Awards. Number 3, the French Open 2017. Number 4 is Puerto Rico. Number 5 is Bethesda E3 2017. What is that? Bethesda E3 2017. I don't even know what that is, but interesting. Okay, 6, Aaron Judge, which is a baseball player. Number 7, Bachelor in Paradise. Number 8 is the what? All right, it's 5 letters, all in caps. USMNT. Usman? I don't know what that is. All right, number 9, Anthem Game. It's a video game. Number 10 is Menendez Brothers. The Menendez Brothers are ranking number 10. So there you go. That is the top 10 most searched things on Google as of yesterday. So let's go and see what the news is today, what's trending on our news, and find out what people are interested. The top of the list is Penguins versus Predators, as the Pittsburgh Penguins beat the Predators for the Stanley Cup. After that, you got Ricky Rossello. Puerto Ricans vote for U.S. statehood. After that, the Tony Awards. After that, China Eastern Airlines. Audio emerges from Sydney flight with gaping engine hole. Wow, that's scary, right? After that, Donald Trump. Trump's state visit to Britain put on hold. Next, Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter is in the news. Jimmy Carter shakes hands with every passenger on flight to Washington. That's pretty cool. You know, I like Jimmy Carter. I would show you, but I can't. The camera's sitting on top of it. But I have the Jimmy Carter Through the Years devotional book, which I absolutely love. And he is a very interesting guy. So next, Dianne Feinstein. We need to investigate whether Lynch gave cover to Clinton campaign. After that, Powerball. One winning Powerball ticket sold in California worth $447 million. What would you do with $447 million? I know one of the things I would do with $447 million is I would make a nice studio here for the morning routine. That would be cool, right? Maybe a monitor so I could show pictures on it. Maybe somebody hanging out with me here to help switch buttons. Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't it be fun? Oh, man, I love create. That'd be awesome. Anyways, all right. And the last thing on here is Houston, Texas. Armed protesters carrying Confederate flags defend Sam Houston statue in Texas. So that's our trending news for today. Let's go on over and let's get a passage of wisdom this morning. Let's see what's going on over there. Let's see. Okay. By the way, before we get into this, guys, yesterday, so sitting at church, and we're still on this Chasing Happiness series that we've been talking about. And one of the theme kind of quotes for the day yesterday was that you have to change what you see in order to change how you feel, which makes perfect sense. So if you've had a tough time in your life and something's gone bad and you're down and out in it, it's because you're focused on, most likely it's because you're focused on something here. And in order to change how you feel about that, you need to focus on something here, right? It kind of puts it in perspective. Here and here, meaning temporal, right here in front of you, this life, what's going on right now versus what's going on in the bigger picture, as in following after Christ, going, heaven, the grandeur of what's ahead and things like that. And I have to tell you, before we even go into this, personal note from me, okay? I can tell you a part where I struggle on this. And this is, I think this is good, all right? So this might be something that's shareable, that you want somebody that you know to tune in and hear this, okay? So okay, here we go. You guys know, well, most of everybody who know Morning Routine knows that I lost a son less than a year ago, right? My son Evan passed away. And that still is very hard for me, as you can imagine, right? So I'm listening to this message, and it talks about change what you see to change how you feel. And I absolutely 100% agree with that. I've said it. I'm doing it. I agree. I can tell you, though, there's this little teeter, like a seesaw. There's this little tipping point. And it feels like for people out there who are grieving a loss of a loved one, okay? That's really the people that I'm talking to right now, okay? That it feels like you're on this tipping thing where when you're over here and you're going, and you're almost all the way over to changing what you see to change how you feel, you get pulled back out of this sense of, if I change how I feel and I only see the greatness, am I lessening the value of the person who you lost life and effect on your life? Does that make, I don't know if I'm explaining this right. It's sort of like when you forgive. Forgiveness can be hard because sometimes if you forgive somebody who wronged you, you feel like you're telling them that it was okay because you've let it go. You know, that little tipping point there, we've talked about that. This is the same way. It's very interesting. And I just want to talk to people who are going through this. It's okay to focus on the grand things in life, and that you're following after Christ and this life is temporal. It's okay to focus on that and find the joy in life. It's okay to be happy in life. That is not saying that the person who you love, I am not saying that my son was not valuable to me and very, very important to me and that I miss him every day. It's not saying that. But it is saying that I see the grander scope of this world and what eternity together are. And that's all I'm saying. I just want to share that before we move on. So anyways, thank you for bearing with me. Feel free to share that. I just felt like I had to say that because that was the thing that I was going through yesterday listening to this message. So, all right, guys, here we go. Here's our passage for today. Genesis chapter 50, verses 15 to 20. It's a little bit of a story here. Okay, here we go. When Joseph's brothers saw that their father was dead, they said, "What if Joseph holds a grudge against us and pays us back for all the wrongs we did to him?" Joseph's brothers sold him into slavery. They got rid of him because they were jealous of him, okay? And he went off and a whole great story happened with him, okay? So they sent word to Joseph, who was now a leader in a foreign country, okay, saying, "Your father left these instructions before he died. This is what you are to say to Joseph. I ask you to forgive your brothers the sins and the wrongs they committed in treating you so badly. Now please forgive the sins of the servants of the God of your father." When their message came to him, Joseph wept. His brothers then came and threw themselves down before him. "We are your slaves," they said. But Joseph said to them, "Don't be afraid. Am I in the place of God? You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of lives." And to read the whole story where Joseph got there right before a famine and was able to see that the famine was coming and prepare food to save millions of people's lives. And that's why he's saying this. So the important part here is right at the end, okay, is that he's been in slavery, he's been imprisoned, he's been all kinds of things have gone wrong in his life because his brothers inflicted this stuff on him. But he says to them, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives," right? That is changing your perspective and changing what you see to change how you feel. And it's something that all of us can do in our lives on whatever hardship is in your life. Just try to focus on the grander scope of things and the minutia. And I hate to say minutia because there are some doozies out there. I know, guys, there's some real serious things going on out there, you know, in your lives that are painful. But it will fall into perspective. So there you have it. Let's pray. Let's get this day started, okay? Father, good morning. Father, we thank you for your story today, your wisdom in the story that you have put in front of us, the encouragement to change what we see, change our focus, because that in turn will have a result in changing how we feel, how we can release maybe the anger or the sadness or the dread or the fear that's tied up inside of us because we're focused on something that's very close to our face. Father, help us today and this week to step back from what it is that we're so focused on that's got us all riddled with anxiety and stress and strain, and to be able to see the full puzzle instead of just the piece. We thank you for your love and your grace and your strength that will help us do exactly what it is that you're guiding us to do. We love you. Amen. All right, guys, that's a wrap. So thank you guys for being here. Feel free to go back and share. And remember, the show links will be on at the end of the show. And I'm excited. So this week, like I said, I'm on the road. Hopefully, I'll be with you every morning. I have no idea where I'll be. I might be sitting on the side of the road. We'll see, right? So tune in every day and let's find out. But until tomorrow morning, guys, don't forget to be exactly who you were meant to be. I love you guys. See you later.